What does a steady yellow traffic light indicate? The light is about to turn red, and you should stop if it is safe to do so. It's your heads up to slow down, not speed up, so you can stop safely. Yellow means caution. Let's keep going. What does a regulatory sign typically tell you? It informs you of traffic laws and regulations that you must follow. These signs set the rules of the road. Ignore them at your own peril. Rules noted. Onward. What is the meaning of a solid yellow line on your side of the center line? Passing is prohibited in your lane. Stay put. No overtaking until that line disappears. Line respected. Next. What should you do if you approach a school bus with flashing red lights? Stop at least 10 feet away from the bus, regardless of your direction of travel, unless a physical barrier exists. Kids boarding or exiting need a clear, safe zone. School's out. Let's move on. What is the proper hand position on the steering wheel for most driving situations? Placing your hands at the 9 and 3 o'clock or 8 and 4 o'clock positions keeps you balanced and ready for anything. Hands set. Next. When are you required to use your headlights? From sunset to sunrise, and any time visibility is limited, rain, snow, fog. If you can't see well, others can't see you. Turn them on. Lights on. Moving forward. What does a flashing red traffic light mean? It should be treated as a stop sign. Come to a complete stop and proceed when safe. Full stop, then go, just like a stop sign. Stop complete, onward. What is the purpose of a white cane or guide dog for a pedestrian? It indicates that the pedestrian is blind or visually impaired and you must yield the right of way. They need extra time and space. Always stop. Yield granted. Next. What is the minimum following distance you should maintain under good driving conditions? A distance of at least 3 to 4 seconds behind the vehicle in front of you. Count the seconds. Gives you time to react safely. Spacing set. Let's continue. What is the meaning of a yield sign? You must slow down or stop if necessary to allow other vehicles or pedestrians to proceed. Be ready to pause. Safety over speed. Yield done. Onward. What should you do if your vehicle begins to hydroplane? Ease your foot off the accelerator, keep the steering wheel straight, and do not brake suddenly. Let the car slow naturally. No jerky moves. Hydroplane handled. Next. What does a diamond-shaped sign with an orange background indicate? Construction or maintenance warning. Expect workers, equipment, and lane shifts ahead. Construction ahead, move on. What is the implied consent law in Connecticut? By operating a vehicle, you agree to submit to a chemical test if suspected of driving under the influence. Refusal carries the same penalties as a DUI. Consent understood? Next. When are you allowed to make a left turn at a red light? When turning from a one-way street onto another one-way street where traffic moves to the left after stopping and yielding. Stop, look, yield, then go if clear. Left turn clear, onward. What is the penalty for a first conviction of driving under the influence, DUI, in Connecticut? Suspension of your driver's license, fines, and possible imprisonment. DUI consequences hit hard. Drive sober. Penalty noted. Next. What should you do if you are involved in an accident? Stop immediately, render aid if possible, exchange information, and notify law enforcement if required. Staying and helping is the law. Accident handled, move on. What is the minimum age to obtain a learner's permit in Connecticut? 16 years old. At 16, you can start supervised driving practice. Permit earned. Next. What does a sign with a red circle and a slash through it mean? Prohibited action or entry. If it's got a slash, it's off limits. Got it. Onward. What is the purpose of a speed limit? To establish a safe and reasonable speed for a particular roadway under ideal conditions. It's not a target. It's a maximum. Speed governed. Next. When are you required to yield the right of way? When entering from a private driveway at uncontrolled intersections and to emergency vehicles. Yield first. Ask questions later. Right of way granted. Next. What is the danger of driving in the no zone around a large truck? These are blind spots where the truck driver cannot see your vehicle. If you vanish, they can't avoid you. Stay visible. Onward. What is the penalty for using a handheld cellular phone while driving in Connecticut? Fines and potential license suspension, especially for repeat offenses or drivers under 18. Hands on the wheel, not the phone. Phone parked. Next. What does a solid white line on the right edge of the roadway indicate? The edge of the travel lane. Don't drift off the pavement. Stay inside that line. Boundary set. Onward. What should you do if you miss your exit on a highway? Continue to the next exit and find a safe way to turn around. Never back up or stop. Keep moving. Exit regained. Next. What is the 3-second rule used for? To estimate a safe following distance under ideal driving conditions. Pick a marker, count 3 seconds, keep that gap. Rule applied. Next. When are you required to signal before making a turn or changing lanes? At least 3 seconds or 100 feet before the maneuver. Give others time to react. Signal early. Signal sent. Onward. What does a red and white triangular sign mean? Yield. Slow or stop if you have to, then go. Yield. No. What is the maximum speed limit on Connecticut highways unless otherwise posted? 65 miles per hour. That's your ceiling. Don't fly past it. Speed capped. Moving on. What should you do if you are being tailgated? Increase your following distance from the vehicle ahead of you and avoid sudden braking. More space ahead means you brake early, not hard. Tail tamer. Next. What is the meaning of a yellow and black circular sign? Railroad crossing ahead. Slow, look, listen. Prepare to stop. Tracks ahead. Onward. What is the purpose of traffic lanes? To organize and separate the flow of traffic moving in the same or opposite directions. Lanes keep chaos at bay. Lane lines. Next. What should you do if an emergency vehicle with flashing lights and siren is approaching from any direction? Pull over to the nearest edge of the roadway, clear of any intersection, and stop. Give them a clear path. Every second counts. Cleared. Onward. What does a solid white line between lanes of traffic indicate? Lane changes are discouraged. Stick to your lane unless you really have to move. Lane steady. Next. What is the proper procedure for parking on a hill facing downhill with a curb? Turn your front wheels towards the curb and set the parking brake. Your wheels will catch against the curb if you roll. Park down. Next. What is the primary reason for the high crash rate among young drivers? Lack of experience and risk-taking behavior. Practice and patience save lives. Experience earned. Onward. What should you do if you encounter a blind pedestrian at a crosswalk? Stop and yield the right-of-way until the pedestrian has safely crossed the entire roadway. They have no visual cues. Your full attention is needed. Pedestrian safe. Next. What does a rectangular white sign with black lettering typically indicate? Regulatory information such as speed limits or lane usage. If it's black and white, it's the law. Regulations posted onward. What is the maximum speed limit in a residential district in Connecticut unless otherwise posted? 25 miles per hour. This slow pace protects homes and kids at play. Neighborhood safe. Next. What should you do if your brakes fail? Pump the brake pedal, downshift to a lower gear, and use the parking brake if necessary. Multiple tactics help you slow down safely. Brakes managed. Onward. What is the meaning of a green arrow signal? You are permitted to turn in the direction of the arrow after yielding to any traffic or pedestrians in the intersection. Green arrow means go after you yield. Arrow followed next. What is the purpose of an acceleration lane? To allow vehicles entering a highway to increase their speed to match the flow of traffic. Use that ramp to blend in smoothly. Merged. Onward. What should you do if you're driving and begin to feel tired? Pull over at a safe location and rest or switch drivers if possible. Drowsy driving is dangerous. Stop and recharge. Rest break. Next. What is the penalty for littering from a vehicle in Connecticut? Fines and potential community service. Don't trash the road. Stay clean. Trash picked. Onward. What does a pedestrian signal displaying a solid orange hand mean? Do not start crossing the street. If you are already in the crosswalk, finish crossing quickly. No new starts. Clear the way. Hand shown. Next. What is the minimum distance you must park from a fire hydrant in Connecticut? 10 feet. Keep that zone clear for firefighters. Hydrant clear. Onward. What should you do if you are driving in a heavy rainstorm? Slow down significantly, increase your following distance, and use your headlights. Rain plus speed equals disaster. Slow and steady. Rain ready. Next. What does a yellow and black pennant-shaped sign posted on the left side of the roadway indicate? A no passing zone. No passing any time. Stay put. Pass prohibited. Onward. What is the penalty for passing a stopped school bus with flashing red lights? Significant fines and potential license suspension. Kids' safety isn't optional. Stop for that bus. Bus laws obeyed. Next. What does a white diamond symbol on the roadway indicate? A high occupancy vehicle, HOV lane, or other preferential lane. Only buses, carpools, or authorized vehicles allowed. HOV noted. Onward. What is the meaning of a sign with a picture of a bicycle crossing or lane? Watch for cyclists, share the road. Bikes safe, next. What is the safest course of action if you are confronted by an aggressive driver? Avoid eye contact, do not respond to their actions, and if necessary, safely pull over or drive to a police station. Don't engage, disengage. Conflict avoided, moving on. What does a flashing yellow traffic light at an intersection mean? Proceed with caution, be prepared to stop if necessary, and yield the right of way. Yellow flash means go carefully, watch everything. Caution taken, next. What is the penalty for a driver under the age of 21 who is convicted of driving with a blood alcohol content of 0.02% or higher? License suspension for at least 45 days and other penalties under zero tolerance laws. Under 21 drivers get no leeway, zero tolerance. BX0, onward. What is the primary purpose of wearing a seatbelt? To prevent serious injury or death in the event of a collision. Belts save lives. Click it or ticket. Belts buckled, next. What should you do if you are driving and it begins to snow or the road becomes icy? Reduce your speed significantly, increase your following distance, and use gentle acceleration and braking. Slow and smooth keeps you in control on slick roads. Winter ready, end of set.